Hello and welcome to July's video update from the Pig Research Facility. So I think last month in June what I said we'd do for July was we'd look back really at the year-to-date performance of the unit just across a couple of metrics. So all these figures are really based on the 200 sow herd here, more practically just being consistently kind of in around that number over that time period. So starting with the sows, the farrowing rate is running at 91% in this first 6 months. Our born alive is 15.5 and our wean number is 13. Our weaning weights averaging still at 8.4 on that number. And I suppose looking at our transfer weights, then we're still around the 33 kilo mark, and our live weight sale is around the 117, 118. So it was a small bit behind at the start of the year. We're pushing ahead now. So while our carcass weight at the minute is kind of 91 or 92 kilos, in the start of the year it was around 88. So we're averaging around 89 kilos carcass weight for this first 6 month period. So I suppose just looking at kind of grams per day, our weaning to sale is around the 840 grams mark, and our transfer to sale is around the 10,040 grams per day mark. A little bit lighter in the first quarter of this half, and a little bit heavier in the second quarter, but around the 1020 to 1040 grams per day. Kilograms sold and paid for year to date around just shy of 250,000 kilos, so 247,000 kilos. As I said, that's based around 89 kilo carcass weights. So we're kind of on target still for the 2.5 tons per sow. So that works out, I think if you multiply that up by 2, we're around 2,470 kilos will be our target, or 2,500 for the end of the year. So I suppose that's just the growth and performance. One thing I did mention is we had a sow, I think probably about April or March. I talked about a sow that I'd noticed that had a very fast growing litter, and at the same time she was having a subsequent litter in the farrowing house as they were going for sale, so we watched her. I commented on some of her birth weights back then, which were several pigs north of 2 kilos and even some close on 3 kilos. So those pigs were weaned. I think I commented in that there was 3 to 4 pigs around the 10 to 14 kilos at weaning, and we've just kind of been focusing on those 3 or 4 pigs moving along the way, seeing how the increased birth weight follows on through weaning and transferring into sale. So we weighed those pigs, that group of pigs, last week, which would be at week 18, and we had 3 pigs between 104 and 110 kilos. So that's where they're shaping up. So yet again, similar to her last litter, which all kind of finished around 3 weeks earlier than the average for the batch. This litter is on track again to finish 3 weeks ahead again. So she's really quite a great performing sow. Other than that, I suppose it's worth noting for the week that's in it is a farm safety week. I suppose I just wanted to highlight a couple of areas that we look at here for the week that's in it. Now it's extremely warm as well. Last week we would have done kind of a thorough rundown on some of our fans and ventilation systems in advance of the warm weather coming this weekend, and we swapped out one fan, and we actually noticed when we took it apart that there was some blackening of the wires, and we noticed a failure in the wiring there. So always with these types of this type of equipment, the risk of something going wrong is never far away. So it's definitely worth, I think, probably make sure the maintenance is up to spec and any long-standing issues are addressed. From a kind of a farm safety point of view around the farm here, we obviously have a lot of students, a lot of interns as well as ourselves working here a lot. We conduct bi-weekly audits on the farm to go through our health and safety checklists, and we also encourage a lot of staff and a lot of students to report any near misses to us, so that we can kind of take the stitch in time approach and fix something before it becomes an issue, because in these type of environments we can get very used to routines and habits, but an accident at times can't be too far away if things are neglected. So I suppose just to recap, that's the 6 month figures year to date. We'll touch on it again at the end of the year and see how the 12-month performance was. And that's it for the Pig Research Facility up until the next update in August.